Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over the topic of you do not need to be perfect to heal. You do not need to be perfect in order for you to lose weight using medical medium protocols. You do not need to be perfect whatsoever in order for you to get to where you want to be using medical medium protocols. Okay? The reason why I wanted to talk about this training today is because I think in the world of medical medium, there is this perfectionism mindset that you need to be perfect 100% of the time every single day in order for you to get to where you want to be using MM protocols. And sure, if you're chronically ill and you have very, very, very negative symptoms, you should be 100%. You should. I'm not saying you shouldn't. What I'm saying is if you aren't chronically ill and you do not have negative symptoms, you're healing and you're following the medical medium way and you feel really good and you're struggling to lose weight, I'm here to tell you that you do not need to be perfect. You don't. And putting yourself on this pedestal of being perfect every single day, it can cause a lot of stress in your life. And what stress does is it creates cortisol in your system. And what does that do? It creates overwhelm, it creates anxiety, it can create depression. And that's the last thing you would want when it comes to you using medical medium and when it comes to you trying to be consistent to every single day, when it comes to you trying to lose weight using MM, right? So I want to shed this layer away from you thinking you need to be perfect. And I want to change it and replace it with you just need to be consistent, okay? And I want to teach you the reason why letting go is often what finally moves the needle. All right, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So again, without further ado, if you're watching this, take notes. I promise you, if you take notes and you actually implement everything I'm going to talk about in this training today, that will create the change that you need. But if you don't, and you're just listening and you're not really like paying fully attention, then maybe you'll take one thing away. Maybe you won't take anything at all, and you're just listening because you like my voice. But I'm telling you, again, like what creates change in your life is taking action. So writing down notes, actually understanding what I'm saying, and you actually implementing this in your life, that's what will create the results you actually are looking for. All right? So for the person that is going to take notes and take action after this video, let's start. All right? One of the most misunderstood parts of medical medium is the quiet belief that you have to do it perfectly for it to work. Perfect foods, perfect timing, perfect routines, perfect healing identity. And without realizing it, healing becomes another source of stress. I want you to raise your hand in your head or even physically if you want to, if you've ever been there, feeling like you need to be perfect in order for this to work. When you're not chronically ill and your nervous system is overloaded, the body doesn't respond better to more discipline. It responds to less pressure. Okay? You are not living to heal. You are healing so you can live again. Let me repeat that. Write this down. Understand this. You are not living to heal. You are healing so you can live again. That's why most of the people that we work with, even my wife and I, we want to live our life. We want to be able to go to family events. We want to be able to go out with friends. We want to be able to go on vacation. And if we're not 100% all the time, it's okay. As long as we still have standards and expectations of ourselves that we can follow every day and we know we're working, then we will do that and we do the best with what we have in front of us. Okay? So without further ado, here are the shifts that will help you release perfection and why results often come easier when you do. Okay? Tip number 1 is healing isn't a moral scoreboard. There is no such thing as being a good or a bad medical medium follower. Your body doesn't reward perfection. It responds to safety, consistency, and trust. I actually got off a call today and someone said they just don't know if they trust their body anymore. Do you know how hard that was for me to hear? It's because I think, again, being in this culture within medical medium, there's times where you probably do need to be perfect when you are very, very ill, when you're very sick and you're deep into it, yes. But there's times where that stress and that pressure, it can have a negative side effect. And I never want anyone to think that their body is working against them. It's not. It's fighting for you. It's never working against you. It's fighting for you to survive and keep you alive. Okay? Your body doesn't reward perfection. It responds to safety, consistency, and trust. When food choices start feeling like a test you might fail, your nervous system stays on edge even if the foods themselves are clean. Okay? Healing accelerates when you stop grading yourself and start supporting yourself. Progress doesn't require flawlessness. It requires staying in the game without burning out. I want you to raise your hand to yourself if you've ever done a 3-6-9 and you lost a little bit of weight, right? I'm sure a lot of us have. And then something along the lines, something in life happened where you fell off. And the one thing that you kind of could resort back to was the 3-6-9 because it worked in the past for you to lose weight. But somewhere along the way where you were consistent with 3-6-9s, you just felt like it wasn't really sustainable, or you felt like it was something that like you didn't really want to have to do that in order for you to continue to lose weight, and that becomes your life, right? Some people love that stuff. Some people love doing back-to-back 3-6-9s for a year or two, right? I don't. I want to be able to still live my life without having to do a 3-6-9 every single day, right? And that's the biggest thing. It's like, it doesn't need to be flawless. It doesn't need to be so pristine. And we just want to make sure that you don't burn out throughout this process. And so knowing how to eat in alignment with your goals while following protocols, that's like the biggest thing we want for you. Knowing how to eat in alignment with your goals and train in alignment with your goals so that way you could look the way that you want to look and feel the way that you want to feel while using That's the biggest thing. And it's different for everyone. I'm not saying we have a set system for every single client we work with. No, that's unrealistic. What we do have, though, is a system that is custom based on the person we are working with. And so if you live a specific life, we will cater our program to your specific life so that way we know it will work for you. That's the only way this works. There's no template plans or cookie cutter approaches when it comes to your health. There isn't. All right? So think twice next time you download an app or purchase like a group coaching class or a fitness app or whatever, and really understand, does this app have the best interest for me? Does this group class have the best interest for me, specifically about what I want, how I want to look, and how I want to feel? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself. All right? 2, more rules does not equal faster results. Many people assume that adding more restrictions means deeper healing. But stacking rules often creates mental fatigue, food anxiety, fear of doing it wrong, a constant sense of pressure, because your body doesn't heal faster when you're stricter. It doesn't. It heals faster when the plan feels livable. Livable. That's it. We want this to be as streamlined as possible. A part of who you are, not something you're fighting against. When your approach leaves room for flexibility, the body stops bracing and starts responding. Sustainable beats extreme every single time. Okay? 3, consistency comes from calm, not control. Perfection is exhausting. Calm is repeatable. When you're trying to control every variable, healing becomes fragile. One-off moment feels like a setback. But when your foundation is simple and steady, consistency becomes natural. Again, guys, the best thing for you to do within your life is to simplify everything. Keep it simple. Because when you overcomplicate things, what does that tend to do? It tends to overcomplicate the things that are going on in your head. You start to second guess yourself, self-sabotage starts to creep in, and all of a sudden you want to give up, right? At the end of the day, keep it simple, keep it consistent. You don't need to do everything. You just need to keep showing up without fear. Calm consistency outperforms intense effort. 4, stress cancels out doing it right. You can follow medical medium to the letter and still feel stuck if the process is stressing you out. Stress tells the body, I'm not safe. I need to stay guarded. I can't release it yet. No amount of clean food can override a nervous system that never relaxes. Stress, honestly, is the ultimate killer within our life. It can stop healing. It can stop you losing weight. It can stop you from losing the bloat. It can stop a lot of things. So healing isn't just about what you eat. It's about how safe your body feels while you're doing it. And what dictates that is how you think about this whole thing. What you eat, how you think of yourself, because your thoughts dictate your actions dictate the results within your life. A relaxed body changes more easily. 5, and the last one, you're allowed to be a person while healing. I repeat, you are allowed to be a person while healing. Healing was never meant to become your identity. You're allowed to enjoy your life. You are allowed to enjoy your life. Miss a day and move on. Adjust without guilt. Evolve your approach. Care about things beyond protocols. Because when healing supports your life instead of replacing it, it finally becomes sustainable. You don't need perfection, you need alignment. All right? And lastly, if this lands, your body isn't asking you to try harder. Stop thinking you need to have this all or nothing mentality. It's asking you to soften. When you release the pressure to be perfect, healing stops feeling like a job and starts feeling like support. And that's usually when things begin to move. Guys, hope you guys got some value from this video today. Make sure you write down the notes again, go back, re-listen, but promise me you'll implement, because I promise you if you do that, you'll get to where you want to be. All right? Guys, that is it. That is all. Hope you guys got some value from this video today. We'll see you in the next one.